Welcome to Spotlight 814. I am your host, Ryan Dolly, and I am joined on Zoom by my co-host, the one and only Brenna Thomler. Hey, Brenna.
Hello, listeners.
Hey, and today we have a very special guest. He is currently in Tulsa, Oklahoma, playing Corny Collins in the National Tour of Hairspray, which is coming to Erie's historic Warner Theater on January 10th and 11th. It's Andrew Scoggin. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did on the first try.
Nice.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Nice.
Welcome, Andrew. We're excited to have you, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have you.
Excited to be here.
Yeah. So you're a PA guy, right?
I am. I'm from Otts, Pennsylvania.
Ottsville. Nice. A little outside of Philly, right? In that area?
Yeah. I'm from the part of Pennsylvania that does I'm from Philly because no one else knows where it is. So it's within the hour range. So I make it into the Philly category. So it makes it really easy. And it's in the bio as Philly because if I said Ottsville, people wouldn't get to understand the repage. So yes. Philly's good.
I like it. Philly it is.
So we're wondering what your theater origin story is. Did you do this as a kid? How did you get into this career?
Yeah, I didn't start doing theater until I was in high school. I played trumpet from 6th grade through sophomore year of high school, I believe. And music has always been my thing. I tried to do sports when I was growing up, but that was not really my jam. I ended up being in high school. I quit marching band to become the mascot because what else would you, instead of playing on football, might as well be the mascot. But that's kind of how I developed my passion for performing, I guess. But it was really great because it was having the big, pirate head on. So no one knew it was me for a while, and kind of living in that anonymous splendor allowed me to kind of understand what my physical comedy was to people. And I had no concept. So I just kind of winged it. And I was playing trumpet for the Pit in Once Upon a Mattress, my sophomore year of high school. And I was like, God, they're having so much more fun than I am. So I want to switch. Maybe I'll just switch and I'll jump up there. And I tried for the fall play, and a friend of mine was directing it. And I think I was the assistant stage manager before. I don't even think there was a stage manager, but I was just so happy to be involved. And I think I walked along behind the box set in the background and made a short appearance. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And then I did Elijah Whitney in Anything Goes that junior year. And because the director was like, you seem like a person who would play drunk really well.
What a compliment.
Well, I guess that's an archetype. So she thought I was funny. So I just kind of winged it, and I fell in love with it. And I didn't really sing a whole lot. I learned how to sing junior year of high school. I started in choir, but I think because of my musical knowledge with trumpet, it made a really easy transition. But I started as bass, and then I went to tenor, and now I can kind of do whatever because I think I just started late. So I was kind of given this little magic jelly bean of I can kind of do whatever, which has been really a blessing. And then I did Mr. McAfee and Bye Bye Birdie my senior. My brother played my young son, and it was a great time. I really wanted to be Conrad Birdie, and I thought I could be cool enough, but I was not cool enough to be Conrad Birdie. But it's okay because look where I've gotten. And I went to college originally I was going to go for athletic training, and a week before college, I was like, I just want to, something is calling me to do this. I don't know why. My parents were scared out of their minds, but they supported me. I'm the oldest. So I was the first one to go to college, and they were like, let's go for it. Let's see what happens. So I went to East Stroudsburg University, and I started in their theater program, and I was Horton, the Elephant, right off the gate. So it was a huge, let's go to college. I auditioned for no schools. I had no idea what even Carnegie Mellon and BOCO and all these different performing arts, degrees. I didn't even know the difference between a BFA and a BA. I was I just wanted to just switch majors and let's see what happens. And I kind of just landed myself absolute elbows deep into it. And I just immersed myself into it. And I was up with some really incredible people at East Stroudsburg, but I felt I wanted to completely just dive right into it. And a friend of mine went to DeSales University in the Lehigh Valley, and she was like, you should come here. It's a private program. It's a BA, but they really did an incredible job of mixing what really is a BFA program when with so many other classes. So I felt like I was leaving with just like a really like whole rounded like education that just wasn't like theater 24/7, which has its like, in hindsight has its benefits and its cons. Cause I sometimes I get jealous of my girlfriend who went to Boco and was doing like dance, acting, voice, speech, singing, like lessons, going into things, and just all day, every day, just everything. And that kind of, I'm jealous of it, but I really had an incredible education at DeSales, and it's where they do the Pennsylvania Shakespeare Festival. So you can leave DeSales with your equity card if you do the Young Company summer like internship, and you get to work in their equity shows. So literally just like jumping on the stage in high school, right when I got to DeSales, I was getting tossed into doing equity shows with equity performers. I did Evita in college with Paolo Jat.
What?
And with, yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Still to this day, I never can wrap my head around it. But like with Paolo Jat, I did Dan Dominic, who was one of the original JDs, just an incredible amount of people through my time there. So I feel like all I've just kept on doing is like kind of stumbling down the rabbit hole of just like immersing myself into life. And then I left, did a year out of college, just kind of like figured my life out. And then back in 2018, and then I've been on almost 4 years of consistent back-to-back contract work. Even through COVID, I was blessed. Everybody was off for like 4 or 5 months, but I was blessed to do at the Broadway Palm down in Florida. It was one of the first theaters to open back up. We were in Shields and everything. And I've been performing since August of 2020. I've been on the road.
That's great.
Since then, before then, and then after. So it's been an incredible ride, but I didn't have the entry level, like doing, like having ballet lessons and learning how to sing early. I was like, we moved around a whole lot. So I never really found like a hobby. And then as soon as I found it late in life, because I was not good with school, but I could memorize lines, and lyrics are not always my best suit, but lines and like learning plays and stuff was always like, I don't know, my brain just like my ADD, it just like focused on that and nothing else. And it's been an incredible ride. So
that's awesome.
So there's a lot of dancing in Hairspray. Were you just like a naturally born dancer? Or...
God, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I am what I've liked to kind of, I'm a glorified mover with grace.
That's same. You and me both.
Not elegance, but grace. Like I did not dance, and I thought it was the dumbest thing. And I still have 2 left feet. Like I can't tap. Like I've never even tap danced on stage. I did the Monster and Young Frankenstein twice, and that's the closest I've ever gotten to like tapping in a show on stage. But everything else, Hairspray I'm step touching, baby, step touching, and I am enjoying it. Everyone else is sweating 10 pounds of water weight off just the nicest kids, but I am standing there just step touching. And
smooth contract for you.
Smooth contract. And that's like, I did Vince Fontaine, another one where it's just step touching in the back. It's like a lot of these, and even Annie was, that was a glorified mover track, but I was blessed with our choreographer, Patty Wilcox, an absolutely incredible choreographer. Was just, she let me know that she liked me. And I was good. And I was more than just a terrible mover and just a trash can rolling around. I'm actually a glorified mover. And so I'll always hold that title with confidence.
That's awesome.
But at least you can do the step touch. That is key.
At least I can step touch. We all do beat. We have to do You Can't Stop the Beat. But also, it truly is one of the most incredible musical theater numbers you can possibly do. There's so many I've yet to even touch, but it really is the people just like, no matter where the audience has been throughout the whole show, as soon as you get to beat up, it is, people are just going bananas, and it's so much fun. The music is incredible, but like, and that doing all the dance for that, even that it's always tough when I answer a dance call, but luckily I didn't even have to send in a dance tape for this one, because Corny Collins is a step touch kind of jive guy. So I think if you can't do that, I really would have been out of luck.
Right. All right. So for people who don't know what Hairspray is about, tell us a little bit about the show.
So Hairspray it's a story about a young dynamic girl named Tracy Turnblad who, she just sees the world around her in Baltimore. And it's 1962. There's a plethora of issues in the city of Baltimore, most predominantly being segregation and the racism. And this show tackles that, and amongst of other things. And Tracy it is such an incredible catalyst of change throughout the whole show that you watch her journey of trying to not only find who she is in the world, but also celebrate the people that are around her and celebrate just the passion for her love of dancing and just her expression of who she is. And she finds herself, her friend Seaweed and her friend Penny and her love for Link. And the four of them go on a journey of trying to integrate the Corny Collins show, my show. And there's so many characters in this show that there's differing opinions. In Velma, there's bullies in Amber. There's so many outside factors that are pushing her to keep her down, but yet she rises to the occasion and she integrates the Corny Collins show the first time ever on national television in front of thousands and thousands of people, making history. And it's just an incredible show. It uplifts you. Music is incredible. The actors in this production, we have a range of people who have been with the production for 3 years, 2 years is their first year, but the cast has an incredible chemistry together. The principals, the ensemble, everyone it's just a beautiful blend that we all have incredible voices. There's incredible dancing, and it's just an absolute spectacular show that anyone who hasn't been in theater can absolutely dive into this show and learn so much, have something affect them, and go off in their day and know that the world is still potentially as messed up as it was in 1962 as it is in 2024.
Yeah.
And it really is. I know I do you do a lot of shows where it's kind of like when I did Ragtime, it's like there's so many messages that you can pull out of it. And you can try to pull so much out of the art that is theater, but like this show is just, it really is. It's timeless, but the message pervades over 20 years of being on the road. So it's really an incredible production.
That's awesome.
That was an excellent summary.
It really was.
That was like,
I nailed it. Nailed it.
Great job. Excellent. Most people just
I only read half of that. I've been writing it.
Okay.
I've been writing notes. Interviews are not my thing. I write little, like I have a whole little note thing of like because I always went to like meetings and things with a little notepad. I just need my things. But sometimes I like get on the tangent. Sometimes I ride it high. Sometimes I ride it into the ground and I'm like, we need to get out of here. But that was good. I'm glad that was good.
Excellent. That was amazing. All right.
Nice.
So can you tell us like the experience of auditioning for Hairspray?
So I got off of Annie back, I forget. It was like it was in the summer. So I got done with Annie and I went straight from touring with Annie for 10 months, I went to Theater Workshop of Nantucket. It's a theater company on Nantucket Island where I never in a million years would have expected to go to. And it's kind of difficult because the world is obviously doing self-tapes galore, but like to get in because a lot of, you can try to fly in and things, to get off of Nantucket Island is not easy.
Right.
And so I was with a friend in Florida where were we? How did I get this? We had a friend that me and my girlfriend were having dinner with a friend who was in the tour last year. And he forwarded our resumes and everything to him, to the director, Matt Lenz. And we just got in. It was a production company that I'd already worked with, the Prathers I've already worked with. When I did Mamma Mia back in August of 2020, I've been working with them between the Broadway Palmer and the Dutch Apple. So I was already in their system of like people that they knew. And I sent in a tape back in when I was in Nantucket. And the tape was just sent out to the casting director. And it was like, in the cloud for like 2 weeks, and I didn't hear anything. And I was like, I guess I just had to send in It's Hairspray, and I had to send in all of Nicest Kids, and then I had to do about six things asides. I think 4 or 5 things asides, maybe 4 or 5 things asides from the different scenes, and sent all that in. And I waited for a while, and after like 2 weeks of waiting, I heard nothing. And then the casting director reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I seem to have lost your tape. Did you send it in?" I was like, and I'm sitting on the other end of that email, losing my mind because I'm like, yes, I did. But here it is. And I just double checked and I sent it again. And within 24 hours, I had the job.
That's awesome.
Sweet.
So yeah, it was absolutely like out of nowhere. And it's.
Well, it's nice that they reached out and said, "Hey."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo.
That would have been rough.
Yeah. And then I left right from Nantucket to go to this. So it was like bink to bink to bink, which has been awesome. It was like right in like the nick of time. Everything kind of came in when I needed to.
It's like they already knew you were meant to be Corny Collins before they even heard you sing.
Yeah.
They knew.
I don't know what happened. There was something in the universe that I don't know. But however it did, it really is amazing. That's what this life is. It really is like waiting until sometimes like the last week of a contract, and it's like, "Oh, here you go.
Yeah.
The golden ticket." And then you run off.
Everything has to fall into place. Yeah. No, that's awesome, man.
It absolutely does. It absolutely does.
That's great. We are running short on time, so I'm going to get to some of the other questions now. Let's see. So this question is from one of our listeners, from Josh. He said, what's one thing you didn't know you needed on tour until you got on the road, and now you can't live without it? Over time, okay, what I do need is I'm a huge gamer. Okay.
That is my sanctity of kind of like getting through the day. So I used to, last year when I was with Annie, I had a full flight case, like full suitcase with the TV inside of it that I carried my PlayStation around, which was my carry-on everywhere. And it was
That's awesome.
It was so extra, but like it really like changed it for me. So like that was one thing, but I've now upgraded to it's called a Steam Deck. It's basically like a Switch, but it can do anything, and it has opened the world. And it's just like a Switch, so you can fit it anywhere and you can take more stuff. So now I have more room for other things, like a steamer, like a travel steamer, and like there's like little things that like going from hotel to hotel, like I've kind of learned, but it modulates as like the day goes by, and like in these hotels you kind of like figure it out. Sometimes you have a microwave, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you have a coffee machine, sometimes you don't. Yeah. And it kind of like having a little mini fridge, it changes like what you can eat in a week. And then, but it's kind of whatever makes you happy. Like it really, I mean, like I have the most random things. I really have like this, I've kind of cultivated, like I have all my packing bags. I'm like organized. I have a hat thing for all of my fitted hats are all in like a hat container. I'll have like vacuum bags for everything. I'm very like, cause to like come in here, spread out, and then just bug in and then bug out is really like, it's an art form after a certain amount of time. That's really the job, is kind of like, how can I just like I'm in the Army, just pack everything up really quick and just get out of here. Cause that's kind of what it is.
The job's not playing Corny Collins. It's packing and unpacking.
No, that's just the bliss. The true life of an actor is just packing your bags every day.
Yeah.
That's what the interviewers saw. They're like, "Oh, he's a good packer. He's hired.
I can see.
We don't need
now.
the tapes."
Organized. I will always be at bus call on time. I will always be at the theater on time. I'm ready to go. Always ready. Always organized. Kind of keeps the brain a little bit.
Yeah.
Focused.
We would be friends. Let me. This one's really important, so let me get to this one first. Do you have any advice for people involved in the community theater who have aspirations of having a professional career in this?
So I'll start by saying that I have actually never in my life performed in a community theater, which is also something that I've never in my life. I've only performed in high school, in college, and then college was an equity theater with PSF. And then right after, it's been working non-ec for money jobs since leaving. And even in that time off, I've never performed in a community theater. So I don't have advice in terms of making like what I've jumped from community theater to where I've jumped to today. But the advice that I do have would, if you really want to, it is a career. It is not only it is my biggest passion in life. It truly is the thing that I love most in this world. And that is something that perpetuates all of the aspects of it that makes it both a lifestyle, it's a career, it changes how you live completely. Because let alone what the life is like of being like a non-union actor versus a union actor, whether it be on the road, whether it be regionally, has so many different qualities of life that shift in your scale of like in your career. And going from like someone where you're like going from leaving college or leaving a community theater and saying, I want to like go out and actually make this work. It really is just hitting the pavement running. Go out there, audition for absolutely everything, go to every class, go to everything. And when you get the job, absolutely soak up every single aspect of it, because it's something that this life isn't guaranteed, it's given. And I have learned more on the job in the past, like the few years that I've been able to do this professionally. I've learned more than I think that maybe I could have ever learned doing this my whole life. And I think some people may take it for granted, this lifestyle, and may try to only look at the issues of it or the challenges. But the blessing of being able to do this art form is something, and being able to do it across the road for thousands of people is something that like is a gift that makes it all worth the meanwhile. But in terms of someone going from like a community theater, being like pre-18 and like looking to potentially do this in college, or just go straight and not do college, because that is also an option for anybody who wants to pursue this, is to just go for it. My parents gave me a blessing that they allowed me to do this, and they gave me all their support, and not everybody is given that. And that is something that I'm so proud of every day. But follow that dream, follow that passion, and follow it until you literally cannot go anymore. And when you can't go, there's going to be another door that you find. I want to work in a theater till I die. I don't even care if it's on stage, if it's in a box office. I just want to be in a theater. I want to own a theater. Like, I just want to do this whole business. And it really, like, having that mindset as well to make it a career has also made it really easy, because I can just go anywhere. Wherever the wind blows me is where I go. So.
Oh, that's great.
That's
great
wonderful.
Advice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again for being here today. We've really enjoyed this conversation. We can't wait to see you in Hairspray in Erie on the 10th and 11th.
Yeah, we'll be there on the 10th.
Yeah, we'll be there opening night.
Nice. So, I'm very excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
I look at cameras the whole entire time, so I don't really get to look around. But there's sometimes where I get to have a little moment where I get to do a quick little scan.
Okay, I'll let you know.
I'll see if I can find you.
I'll shoot you a message on Instagram. Okay. Let you know where we're at.
Awesome.
Is there anything else you want to share with our audience before we bounce? Or?
It was great. Awesome. It's the first time I always get so scared, because like interviews are not my game, because I tend to ramble, or I think I'm not saying something beautifully eloquent. And like, if you always watch so many interviews, we're like, God, that's good. I worked on that for a while, but it really was cool to kind of like just sit down and kind of chitty chat. So it's really nice to kind of just talk about this business and kind of talk about the lifestyle. So,
well, you're welcome back anytime, man.
No. Nice.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Thanks so much for joining us. And we're so excited to see it.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm so excited. Thank you guys for having me.